And Amanda, we just need about 2 more minutes and we'll get started, okay?
Okay.
All right.
And I'm calling Amanda, so I'll go first here because she was bumped from my witness to the end, right, Lori?
That's fine. You just need to save 30 minutes for me, Wes.
I'll do my best.
So Amanda, that means Wes is going to question you first, then I'll question you second.
Okay.
Okay.
Give me one moment here. I think that's, I guess, I can admit, Ms. Kostich wants to be admitted here. Let's see.
Looks to me like you got everyone, Judge.
Yeah, I thought you were questioning. Give me one second. I thought you were questioning the witness first, so I'm gonna change my
Yeah,
notes here.
I did too, but it doesn't bother me either way. So I
Okay.
just want to be as efficient as possible.
Okay. Yep. And there's some things I want to bring up, but we can do so after the hearing. So,
Sounds good.
all right. So let me get the recorder going here. Okay, so recorder's going, just so everybody knows. Let's go back on the record in the matter of Jeffrey Peterson versus Raymond School District, ERD case number CR 202400725 and CR 202401544. This is a multi-day hearing conducted via Teams video conferencing. Today is, I believe, the 7th and final day of the hearing. Today's date is March 4th, 2026. And as I understand it, the next witness is, let me get the correct spelling of your name. I see Amanda on your screen.
Oh, sorry.
What's your last? Can you spell your last name?
Falashi, F is in Frank, ALA, S is in Sam, CHI.
Okay. Very good. Okay, so by council stipulation, both council want to question this witness, and they've agreed that Attorney Haslam will be first in that regard. So before Attorney Haslam elicits your testimony, Ms. Falashi, I want to swear you in. Can you raise your right hand? Do you promise that the testimony you're about to give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Thank you. You may proceed, Attorney Haslam.
Okay, good morning, Ms. Falashi. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Doing well, thank you. So you were a school board member at Raymond School while Mr. Peterson was the principal, correct?
Yes.
And you were one of the members who voted to not renew his contract, correct?
Yes.
Okay. In this case, do you recall receiving discovery requests from me and Mr. Peterson asking for communications regarding Mr. Peterson or documents regarding Mr. Peterson?
Yes.
And do you recall not giving me emails or text messages from your personal accounts regarding Mr. Peterson?
I gave you what I had.
Okay. Did you give me any text messages?
I didn't have any.
Okay. Did you give me any emails from your personal email address?
Yes.
Okay. Do you remember receiving a litigation hold letter
No.
in August of 2023? I'm going to pull up the exhibit here that's been formally introduced as C11, Exhibit C11. Can you see this where it says Cross Law Firm on the top?
Yes.
Okay, I can make it a little larger for you. Can you see that okay?
Yes.
So do you see down here, it says August 21st, 2023? And
Yes.
it says it was sent to you, to your address, and to your email. Is that your email, correct?
Yes. That was my Raymond School Board email.
And you have that's your address, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And do you see down here, Mr. Peterson is letting you know, or his attorney is letting you know that he's bringing up a discrimination issue with the school?
Yes.
Okay, and then if I go down further, you see litigation hold.
Yes.
Do you recall receiving this litigation hold letter now?
No.
No. Do you recall discussing it with anybody?
No.
Do you know what a litigation hold letter is?
Yes, because you explained it in my deposition, I believe, but I don't remember.
Okay. Um, do you also recall an investigation with someone named Jonathan Sachs?
I don't recall.
I'm going to pull up the exhibit previously marked C, entered in and marked C15. Do you see this on your Do you see this on your screen right now?
Yes.
Okay, I'll make it a little larger for you. And have you seen this before?
I don't recall.
Okay, so I'm going to take it down here, and this is I'm going to posit to you that this is a report that was based on a misconduct investigation conducted by someone named Jonathan Sachs. Does that sound right to you?
It looks like that's the name on the paper.
Okay, and down here, is this your name right here?
Yes.
Okay, and if I go down to the third paragraph here where it's highlighted, it says
Yes.
Ms. Falashi also provided us with a Facebook direct message that had Mr. Peterson's name on it. Do you see that?
Yes.
Do you recall that Facebook direct message that you gave to an investigator?
I don't recall exactly, but it sounds possible.
Okay, did you have a photo, a screenshot, or a direct message from Mr. Peterson in your possession ever?
I don't recall.
You don't remember?
No.
But it says, but you do agree that it says here that the investigator says you gave one to him, right?
Yeah.
Did you give that to me in discovery?
I I don't recall.
I'll posit that you didn't. Does that ring a bell?
N-
I'm
no.
gonna object. That's
Her answer is, I think your answer is you don't remember. Is that,
Yes.
so let's move on.
Okay. When you were running for the school board, did you receive support from an organization called Moms for Liberty?
Not directly.
Okay. And I'm going to introduce another exhibit here. This is C181. And Ms. Falashi, I just want you to take a look at this when I bring it up on the screen here. This is a deposition transcript.
Yes.
And you see this is your name right here.
Yes.
And that's the date we did the deposition, right?
Sure.
And have you reviewed this before?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to scroll through it and I'm going to go straight to the bottom. And here's the end of the deposition. You see that?
Yes.
End of the transcript, rather. Do you have any reason to believe that anything in here is inaccurate?
No.
Okay. Do you know someone named Joanne Konecki?
Yes.
Okay. Did Joanne give you support? Did she support your campaign for school board?
I don't believe so.
So I'm going to take you to your deposition, to your page 8, and this part I've highlighted here. I asked you if do you know someone? I say here, and I said I might butcher her name, Joanne Konecki. Do you see that?
Mhm.
And you said yes, the name is familiar, right?
Mhm.
And then I asked if do you know if she was supporting your campaign for school board candidacy? And you say
Mhm.
I believe she was, correct?
Okay, sure.
Okay. Does that ring a bell? Do you now remember that she supported you?
I don't recall. I
Okay.
really don't recall talking to her, but I if I said that in August, then yes.
I'd like to move to have the deposition transcript, base stamp C181, entered in as Exhibit C108.
no objection.
Now, Ms. Oh,
Okay,
sorry.
hold on. I have to formally admit it on the record. Exhibit C 107, hearing exhibit C 107, Bates C 181 is admitted.
Wait,
I
wait,
have
hold,
I
hold,
have
hold on.
108.
Yeah, Judge, I
Oh,
think it's C108,
see, what did I say?
107.
Oh, that's probably because I'm looking at the last one. I apologize. I just misspoke. I already have that accords with my record. C108.
Okay.
I apologize. I misspoke. So C108 and Bates C181 is admitted. Thanks.
Okay, now, Ms. Falashi, are you aware that Ms. Joanne Konecki is a member of Moms for Liberty?
Yes.
And you're aware that she was also in the local leadership for Moms for Liberty, correct?
I did not really know what her position was.
Okay. Did Gwen Keller support your campaign for school board?
Yes, I believe so.
And did Art Binhack support your campaign for school board?
Yes, I believe so.
Now, did you work closely with Binhack during your campaign?
No.
No. So I'm going to pull back up your deposition transcript again, actually, here. And I'm going to go to page 7 and the same page here. Do you see where I've got my cursor?
Mm-hmm.
And I asked you if Mr. Binhack was a supporter during your campaign, and you said he was probably a supporter, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you say that he asked you to run with him, and you told him that you didn't want to run your campaign with his. Is that right?
Yes.
And I asked you why you turned down that offer, and you said it's because you didn't want to be associated with anyone, and you didn't know enough about anyone else and their views. Is that a correct paraphrasing of what you said to me in the deposition?
Yes.
Okay. And so when you say he asked you to run with him, what does that mean? What do you see that as meaning, to run
J-
with
j-
him?
just for the record, I don't object to the question. That was improper impeachment for the record only. I don't object to the question. Amanda, do you recall the question? What does it mean if you didn't want to run with him?
I I mean, like, I think he just wanted to campaign together,
What does that entail? Like putting signs up,
I guess, and going to speak to people together, that kind of a thing.
sending text messages to advocate for both of you?
I don't know.
Okay. I'm going to pull up an exhibit that I've bait stamped as C152.
It's a new one, Wes.
It's a new one. We've already used 152, but it's different pages from that one. If you recall, we're doing page
Got it.
numbers.
Got it.
And we're going to start here right at page 1.
Can you tell us what pages are going to be in it? New hearing exhibit C109?
Yeah, we're going to go from page 1 to page 44.
Okay. Got it.
Ms. Falashi, can you see this clearly on your screen?
Yes.
So these are text messages between you and Art Binhack, correct?
Yes.
Okay, and so I'm going to scroll down and just take a look at each page and confirm these are still text messages between you and Art Binhack, correct?
Yes.
All right. Still good?
Yep.
Still good?
Yeah.
All right. And I'm going to keep scrolling down. If for some reason you see something that's not a text message between you and Art Binhack, you let me know, okay?
Okay.
I'll pause at each page for a second. See this? And you're telling Art that here in this text message down here that his sign in front of Carrie's house is broken. Is that correct?
Yes.
And is that Carrie Morgan's house you're referring to?
Yes.
Yeah. And I'm going to keep scrolling down. This is still text between you and Art, correct?
Yes.
All right. And just going to keep scrolling down. Here's page 11 here. This is something you sent Art, correct? And it has
Yes.
the Racine County Republican Party, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it has the recommended candidates as you and Art Binhack, right?
Yep.
And if I keep scrolling down here, I'm just going to keep scrolling. You tell me if there's anything that's not a text message between you and Art, okay?
Okay.
All right, here on page 16, do you see it says it's Art telling you about a text message that's going to go out, an automated text message that's advocating for both you and Art,
Okay.
correct? Is
Yep.
that right?
Yeah.
Okay. And we'll keep going down a little bit. There's more text messages between you and Art, right?
Yep.
And here's a exchange you're having about your opponents, Amy Helvig and Shelly Karajic, right?
Yep.
And you're telling him that you think they're teaming up.
Yep.
And if we keep going down, you say, thank you, Art. I've been telling everyone that's voting for me to vote for you too, right?
Yeah.
And he says, yes, it does. I've been doing the same for you, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And here's another one of you reminding all of your Oriole. I think that's probably a typo. But it says to vote for you and I today. Is that correct?
Yes.
I'm trying to text as many as I can, correct?
Yes.
And then the discussion goes on to signs that you guys are both putting up, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Is that correct?
Yes.
And page 21 of the text message is still talking about putting out signs, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And still talking about putting out signs on 22 with Art Binhack, right?
Mm-hmm.
And to be clear, these are campaign signs you're talking about, right?
Yes.
And page 23 still talking about putting up campaign signs together, correct?
Yes.
And here, page 24, same thing, right?
Yeah.
Page 25, same thing, right?
Yes.
Page 26, you tell Art, look at this, and it's a screenshot of the Racine County Republican Party. Do you see that?
Yeah.
And it says we have 2 additional conservative candidates, basically, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you said, and then Art says to you, yes, Carrie Morgan sent that to me. Do you see that?
Yes.
And then below that, there's you're talking about complaining to someone named Andrew Daxey. Is he
Mm-hmm.
the person who's in charge of that website that put Amy Helvig and Shelley Karajic on as conservative candidates?
Yes.
And you guys complained to him and asked to remove the post, right?
Yes.
And you and Art Binhack worked together on that, correct?
We did.
Okay. And I'm going to keep scrolling down here. There's still a discussion of having them remove the posts from the Republican website, right?
Yes.
And then Art says to you that Andrew, the guy we were talking about before, wants to talk with the president of the village of Raymond. Is that correct?
Okay.
Is he talking about?
Yes.
Is Art talking about Carrie Morgan there?
Yes.
And you said I did. I just texted her, correct?
Yes.
So you texted Carrie Morgan this?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we're gonna keep scrolling down here. There's some discussion about your dad, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'll let that go. And then it says your dad commented on the post that we were talking about before, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so a little discussion. You say you're embarrassed. I get that. And now you're talking about it's still you and Art talking about the election, right?
Yes.
Page 33, 34, same thing.
Yep.
35, same thing.
Yes.
36, same thing.
Yes.
Talk about putting up street signs again or someone stealing them.
Yeah.
37, still talking about the street signs.
Mm-hmm.
Page 38, just the conversation between you and Art, right?
Yep.
Okay, so I'd like to, and again, here's still between you and Art, page 39, right?
Sure.
Okay, so right here, it says, Art says to you, way to go, you killed them. And then you say to Art, oh, Art, 5 flipping votes, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is that how much Art lost by?
Must have been.
Okay. And he says he's asking for a recall, 5 votes, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you say, I'm stuck with Amy.
Mm-hmm.
And he says, oh, she's a conservative. Then you give a ha-ha, right?
Yeah.
And then below that, he says to you, but we have the majority 3-2, and we need to elect one of our 3 president of the school board. They set the agenda. I nominate Gwen.
Mm-hmm.
Did I read that correctly?
Yes.
And then you say, good idea, right?
Yeah.
So is he referring to Gwen Keller here?
Must have been.
And the 3 that he's referring to, the majority, is that Audrey Kostich, Gwen Keller, and yourself?
Probably.
And you were the 3 who were going to set the agenda, correct?
Well, the board president sets the agenda.
Okay. And you wanted Gwen Keller to be the board president, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And let's scroll down. I guess next question is, was Carrie Morgan also a supporter of your campaign for school board?
Yes.
I'm going to scroll down here, page 40. This is a still text between you and Art, and you're
Yep.
discussing a book, correct, in the school?
Yes. Yep.
Okay. And page 41, still text between you and Art, right?
Mm-hmm.
Page 42, still text between you and Art, correct?
Yes.
Page 43, you're talking about the recall election with Art here, right?
Yes.
And then page 44, Art texts you and says he's going to be out of town tomorrow, so he can't attend, right?
Yep.
And then you say, I think Janelle created the flyer. Is that right?
Yes.
Are you talking about Janelle Wise?
Probably.
And you say I've studied about a dozen people, and you list a few of the people, and you say Carrie Morgan's one of them. Is that correct?
Yep.
Okay, I'd like to move to have C152 pages 1 through 44 entered into evidence as exhibit number 109, please.
No objection.
Hearing exhibit C109, page C152, and specifically pages 1 through 44, collectively admitted as an exhibit.
Now, did Carrie Morgan ever ask you to distribute Jeff Peterson's personnel file?
No.
Did Carrie Morgan ever give you a thumb drive with documents on it related to Peterson?
No.
I'm going to pull up a letter that's been previously introduced as C18.
Is it a Bates number or hearing
That's the
exhibit?
That's the hearing exhibit number, Your Honor.
Okay.
Can you see this, Ms. Falashi?
Yes.
Have you seen this before?
I don't recall.
Did you receive this letter from Carrie Lopnow Morgan?
No.
Did you give this letter to Carrie Lopnow Morgan?
No.
Did you distribute this letter?
No.
Did you ever see this letter attached to Peterson's personnel file?
I don't recall.
It would have been attached in a PDF called cover letter next to a version of Peterson's personnel file. Does that refresh your memory at all?
No.
Did you ever see various versions of Peterson's personnel file?
I saw one when I went in to read it with Garvey.
That's the only one you ever saw?
I'm pretty sure.
Okay. And I'm just going to pull up a exhibit previously introduced as a C77, just to refresh your memory here. And this is page 42 of C77. Can you see this, Ms. Falashi?
Yeah.
So I'm going to posit to you that this is a text message between Carrie Morgan and Art Binhack. It's been previously introduced as evidence. And the part I have that little dot next to, Carrie Morgan is telling Art that she was able to pull all the pages related to discipline and lack to do his job and attach them to a sheet in front with bullet points for all 36 pages. She says she's going to put it on a thumb drive and hand it to a few people to send out, and she'll email it to Binhack and she's going to email it to Binhack. Is that an accurate summary of what that says?
Yes.
Did you ever see this version of Peterson's personnel file that Ms. Morgan is talking to Mr. Binhack about?
No.
Did you ever post Peterson's personnel file to a Facebook private group called The Raven?
No.
Have you ever been a member of The Raven?
I don't really know if I was or wasn't a member of the Raven, honestly. I did not go on there. We were all very fearful at the time, and I was really trying to just stay away from everything.
Did your husband, was he the administrator of The Raven?
At one point, yes.
And did your husband post the letter I showed you earlier to The Raven that accused Mrs. Jeff of sexualizing and grooming children?
I don't believe so.
Did he ever post a 36-page version of Peterson's personnel file to The Raven?
I don't know.
I'm gonna show you something that has not been introduced yet. I have it bait stamped C193, and the short title of this is Files Uploaded to The Raven.
Okay.
Ms. Wise, can you see this right here?
I'm not Miss Wise, but yes.
I'm sorry, Ms. Falashi, can you see this?
Yes.
Okay, great. So I'm going to posit to you that this was taken off of The Raven, and these are files uploaded to it.
Okay.
That's just my proposition. And do you see this name, Joe Falashi?
Yeah.
Is that your husband?
Yep.
Okay. And so it says here he uploaded these files, correct?
Okay.
Did you ever see these files?
No.
Did you ever make posts under your husband's name?
No.
Have you ever uploaded documents under your husband's name?
No.
And one of these documents is Peterson's personnel file. Is that correct?
Objection foundation.
I
You've
don't
not
know.
made-
I'm going to withdraw the question. I'm going to withdraw the
Overruled.
question.
She just said she doesn't know. So
Is one of these things that your husband has your husband's name under it titled Peterson file?
Yes.
Okay.
And for the record, she doesn't know that her husband, you're showing her something that you don't have she doesn't have the foundation, but she was testifying. It says what it says.
Yes.
Is this going to be an exhibit?
What?
I'll move to have 193 entered as an exhibit,
So,
110.
So I will object. There's absolutely no foundation for that. That was just basically the lawyer testifying with the witness answering she doesn't know what that is. So I object.
Yeah, I have no rebuttal for that, Your Honor. I'll leave that up to you.
Hey, it's wise. I was going to rule against you. So
Okay. So we won't admit it.
Sorry, Amanda, we're on like our 7th day of this hearing, so we all know each other pretty well.
Okay.
Keep going, Wes.
Now, I guess, so did you ever give Peterson's personnel file or any version of it to anyone?
No,
Did you ever give like portions of Peterson's personnel file to anyone?
no,
Did you ever ask anyone to give Peterson's personnel file to anyone?
no,
Did you ever ask anyone to give Peterson's personnel file to the media?
no,
Did you give records related to Peterson to anyone affiliated with Moms for Liberty?
no.
I'm going to pull up a exhibit that has not been entered yet. It is Bait stamp C116. The short title is Text Between Joanne Konecki and Amanda Falashi. Ms. Falashi, can you see this on your screen?
Yes,
And here's your name up here. It looks like a misspelling though, correct?
yes.
Okay. And here it's September 27th, 2023 is where they start, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to posit to you that these were provided to me by Joanne Konecki, and they're between you and I just want you to confirm they're between you and her.
Okay.
The text on the right, I'll posit are from Joanne, and the ones that pop up on the left are going to be from you. Okay, just confirm that. I'm going to scroll through. Do you see these? Is this ring a bell?
Yes. I mean, no, but I trust you.
Well, do you recall having text conversations with Joanne Konecki?
I don't recall.
Okay. Does here it's talking about Moms for Liberty? Does this ring a bell
Sure.
at all? Okay. Do you have any reason to doubt that these are texts between you and Joanne Konecki?
No.
Okay. And this is going to be 116 pages 2 to 6, by the way. Sorry, I should have said that to begin with.
Okay.
Yeah, 1 second. What did you just, pages 2 to 6? I'm sorry, Wes.
Yes, correct. 2 to
Thank
6.
you. Got it.
And you see here on page 6 here, you say I'm talking to Andrew, and you guys talk about Andrew a little bit. Is this the Andrew we were talking about before in your text with Art
Yes.
Binhack? So now do you recall this conversation between you and Joanne?
No, but I do remember Andrew.
So I'm going to go back up to page 4 here. And Joanne says to you here in this text, she says, was the investigation about the pics of kids swimming at swimming pools and in their bedrooms? If so, it's in there. If it involves something else more inappropriate, then it's not. Did I read that correctly?
Yes.
And you say, yes, that was it. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. And are you guys talking about records related to Jeff Peterson?
Must have been.
Are you talking about letters or records that were from his personnel file?
I don't recall.
Did you provide her with the records that she's talking about?
No.
Well, okay. Do you see down here she's talking about giving a copy of these records to Jason Calvi? Is that correct?
Yes.
Who's Jason Calvi?
I don't know.
Do you know if he's a local reporter?
I have no idea who he is.
Okay. And I'm going to scroll up a little bit here, and here you're back on page 3. She's asking you for Art's number. Is that Art Binhack?
Must be.
Okay. So I'm gonna move to enter C116 pages 2 to 4 into evidence as exhibit 110, please.
No objection.
So hearing exhibit C110, Bates C116, and specifically pages 2 through 6 are collectively admitted.
And I'm going to just show you something really quickly, Ms. Falashi, just to try and refresh your memory. And I'm going to pose to you that this is an email It's date stamped C164, but it's an email between Mr. Jason Calvi and Michael Garvey with CCing Patty Hoppus. Is that correct?
Yes.
And the date on this email is October 25th, 2023, right?
Yes.
And they're talking about an open records. Well, actually, I'll scratch that. Right here, Jason Calvi is writing to Superintendent Garvey, and he's saying someone forwarded him a copy of the paperwork. Is that correct?
Yes.
Do you know what he's talking about?
No.
Okay. And do you remember that the school ever set up a website to put open records on that were being released to the public?
Yes.
Do you remember the date of that?
No.
If I were to posit to you that it was October 25th, excuse me, October 26th, 2023, would you have any reason to disbelieve that?
No.
Okay. Now, did you have anything to do with open records requests?
No.
Nothing?
Mm-mm.
Now, didn't you become the board clerk after Ms. Gwen Keller left the board?
Yes.
And as the board clerk, did you have any role in open records requests?
No. I don't believe so.
Okay. I'm not going to enter that in as an exhibit. Now, Amanda, you know that the letter that was accusing Peterson of sexualizing and grooming children, that it was widely distributed, correct?
Yes. I heard about that.
And you know that it was sent to reporters, correct?
I have no idea, but I believe you.
Okay. And you know it was also attached to a version of Peterson's personnel file, right?
No, but again, if it was, I believe you.
Do you have any reason to not believe that it was attached to a 36-page version of Peterson's personnel file?
I don't recall.
Do you have any reason to not believe that Ms. Joanne Konecki was referring to a 36-page version of Peterson's personnel file in the text messages I showed you earlier?
I
I'm
don't
gonna, hold
recall.
on, hold on. I'm gonna object on foundation grounds. Do you have any reason not to believe that someone else was referring to something, and that's like a double foundation problem?
Yeah, I'm going to withdraw the question. Do you know that Mr. Peterson's personnel file was manipulated?
No.
Do you know that the personnel file and the letter of accusing Mr. Peterson of sexualizing and grooming children was on a thumb drive that Carrie Morgan gave out to members of the community?
No.
Did Carrie Morgan ever give you a thumb drive?
Yeah, objection asked and answered. Let's move
No.
on. You have asked her that twice, I believe, although slightly different ways.
Let's just, I mean, it's one yes or no. I'm gonna allow it, but then let's move on. So
Yeah.
the answer I think she said was no, right?
Correct.
Okay.
That's all the questions I have. Thank you.
Ms. Falashi, I promised the judge and Wes before we got on that I would be less than a half hour, and I'm going to try to keep that promise.
Okay.
Okay? Are you a resident in the Raymond area?
Yes.
And did you just tell the judge a little bit, give the judge 2 minutes of background on you? What I'd like you to do, just briefly overview your employment history and briefly overview your educational history. Keep it brief.
Okay. My most recent job was at Evergent, which is a business that my husband and I owned. It was an internet provider, and we provided internet from O'Hare all the way up to southern Milwaukee. I did the books, and he ran the network. And that was probably 7 or 8 years that was my job. And then before that, I worked at Runsheimer International, which is a company in Waterford. And I was an account manager there. And then I graduated from college, Loyola University, Chicago. And I don't know, I have 3 kids, and that's it.
You did
I
a good
guess.
job. You did
Okay.
a good job, and you kept it succinct. Did your children at one time go to school in the Raymond School District?
Yes.
And before you became a board member, did you have any involvement in either volunteering or working for the Raymond School District?
Yes.
briefly, what was that involvement, please?
I volunteered in the classrooms when my oldest started school, and then from there, I would help wherever they needed help. It was either in the classrooms or in the lunchroom, that type of thing.
During those interactions, strike that. Was that all before you became elected to the board?
Yes.
Give the judge the time frame. When were you elected to the board, and when did you end your work on behalf of the Board of Education?
Okay, I was elected to the I don't remember. Okay, I was elected to the board in was it 22, I think?
I could bring up those
April.
text messages you were shown with that you were shown earlier
Okay,
if but I'm trying to move this along. Those text
sure.
messages are in the spring of 2023. Okay?
Yes.
Does that
Yes.
sound right?
Yeah.
And then let's get the end date. So spring of 2023, did you end up resigning from the board?
Yes.
About when was that?
Summer of 2024, I
So you
believe.
served on the board a little over a year?
Yes.
Okay. During that year, did you hold any positions on the board, like president, vice president? Sounds like from a prior question, you might have at the tail
Yes.
end. So tell us about that.
Clerk. I believe I was clerk.
Were you the clerk the entire time you were on the
No.
board?
I was the clerk for probably 4 or 5 months or something.
And from your answer to Wes's question, it sounds like that happened after Gwen Keller, who was the clerk, resigned.
Yes.
Okay. So whenever she resigned, I'm not going to worry about dates. That's when you would have taken over as the clerk.
Yes.
Very good. And then just briefly, what was your role as the clerk of the board?
I took notes and I helped with I had to do the recall, so I mailed the correspondence back and forth during the recall between the groups.
Put aside the work on the recall. As the clerk, would you like take notes of board meetings and they would be used to like draft up minutes?
I believe so.
Okay. Did your role as a clerk involve setting agendas for the board?
No.
Whose role was that?
I believe the board president.
Amanda, why did you seek to run for a position on the Raymond School Board?
I had kids that were in the school district and we were experiencing issues with bullying, and I was frustrated with that, and I felt like there was a lack of discipline within the school, and I wanted to be able to figure out what was really going on and understand why this was an issue and why my kids went from wanting to go to school to not wanting to go to school anymore.
And did you ever get answers to your questions?
No, I requested a meeting with Jeff over the issue because I was extremely frustrated. And I was told that he would not meet with me. And so he had me meet with someone else. And I met with that person. And then I was pretty much told nothing can be done. And that's the way that it is. And the best that they could do was just make sure that my kid and the other student were in separate classes the remainder of the time that they were both at Raymond.
Okay. Did it come to the point, at least for you and your family, that you withdrew your kids from the Raymond School District?
Yes.
Do you have a sense for, I don't need the exact date, but when that was?
Um, it was the fall of 24, I believe, right after school started or right around when school started.
Okay. So were you still on the board at that time or had you already resigned?
I had already
Oh,
resigned.
okay. All right. Now you get on the board, you're elected to the board in the spring of 2023, right?
Yes.
And you were shown some text messages you had with Art Binhack, and you were shown your deposition testimony. And I just want to ask you, the text messages seem to indicate Mr. Binhack either was asking or wanted to run with you, and
Mm-hmm.
you indicated no. And I want
Yeah.
to give you an opportunity. When you told him you did not want to run with him, what did that mean for you?
That meant that I did not want to have to go and campaign with him places or be like widely associated with him. But I was not against helping him find a place to put a sign or,
Sure.
or if, I mean, this happened a lot where I would talk to people and they would say, "Do you know Art?" And I would say, "Yes, I do." And then they would say, "Can you have him call me too?" Or "Can I have his sign too?" And like, it just kind of, I mean, a lot of that did happen often.
All right, very good. Did you ever have signs where you and Art were on the sign together?
No,
Did you ever send out text messages to the community, to voters, where you and Art were together campaigning on a ticket, if you will?
no.
When you run, I truly don't know the answer to this. When you ran for the board, were you running on a political campaign, meaning Democrat, Libertarian, Republican, or not?
I was not, but I did have support from the Republican Party.
Good.
Um,
All right, very good. Now, after you got on the board, spring of 2023, you talked earlier in your testimony about a meeting you had with Mr. Garvey where you reviewed Mr. Peterson's personnel file. Do you remember that question?
yes.
Let's talk briefly about that. Who was present?
Um, Me, Amy, and Garvey.
Amy Helvik was the board member who won the seat at the same time you did. Is that right?
Correct.
What was the purpose of that meeting, if you can recall?
I believe to come in, review the personnel file, and explain what was happening because we didn't know
So,
anything.
so before you actually get elected by the voters, did you know Mr. Peterson was on a PIP?
No,
Did you know anything about the status of his employment other than the fact that obviously you knew he was the principal at the school?
I had no idea how complicated it was when I ran in that election.
You may be
Um,
regretting it now, but
and I am regretting it
yeah,
100% right now.
no, I
Absolutely.
understand. So you sit down, you and Amy sit down and with Mike and you go through Peterson's personnel file. Does he tell you at that time that Mr. Peterson was on a PIP?
After we reviewed it, I do believe he said that was happening. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Very good. And in that file, if you recall, Amanda, if you recall, did you see that there had been a complaint made or a concern, whatever word you want to use, made by an employee named Mitzi Kozad and an investigation report as a result of that?
I believe so.
Was that the first time you were aware of that?
Yes.
Okay. Then, and I'm trying to speed this up over the next several months. Did you participate in closed session meetings wherein Mr. Peterson would advise the board on the status of, I strike that, where Mr. Garvey would advise the board on the status of Mr. Peterson's PIP?
Yes.
All right, very good. I just want to fast forward through. Well, let me ask a couple questions before I get to the non-renewal hearing. Describe for the judge what was going on in the public school board meetings around the fall and into the winter of 2023.
It was there was a lot of tension and there was a lot of people coming and yelling and screaming and standing on chairs and waving signs and opposing us, and everything that we said and we did, and we could not really even run a meeting efficiently with all of the activity that was happening.
You were shown, and I want to show it to you, so bear with me. This is, 1 second. Hearing exhibit C15, the Sachs report.
Okay.
And I want to show you the same page that Attorney Haslam showed you. Just 1 minute. Just get it right up on the screen. Okay. You were asked questions about an investigation done by an attorney named John Sachs and shown, 1 moment. I think that's, yeah. Do you see on your screen, Amanda, the 5 paragraphs that'll represent you as in what we're calling the Sachs report that is
Okay.
under your name.
Yes.
And you were given an opportunity at your deposition to review this.
Yes.
And can you just confirm everything in here is true and accurate based on what you can best remember?
Yes.
Just a couple questions on this. The first paragraph references a comment or a conversation with Mr. Peterson. And my question is, it appears to me that that was a conversation you had with him when you were a volunteer. So was that before you became a board member or after?
I
If
don't
you re-
recall.
It's okay. All right.
Okay.
Let's not worry about timing then. Can you just tell the judge what you remember about that conversation with Mr. Peterson?
I remember that the teacher was one of my kids' teachers and that she asked me to come and help in the classroom a couple days a week. And I said that I would. And then he asked me to help in the lunchroom a couple days a week. And I said, I can only do so many days a week. I'm still working a real, like my other job. And so I have to like pick and choose. And he said that they needed me in the lunchroom more than they needed me in the classroom. And I said, well, she seems like she really needs help. And so, and she, like I felt a loyalty to her because I just felt bad for her, I guess is what it was. And so, and he was kind of just said, well, you know how she is, like that's just the way she is, there's always something wrong, so if you could just look past that and do what I need you to do, that'd be better. And I think what I ended up doing, if I'm not mistaken, is splitting my time
Sure.
myself and just saying I'm going to do a little bit here and a little bit there and call
Sure.
it a day.
This report quotes you as saying that he, Mr. Peterson, said, you know how they are. Did he
Yes.
say that to you?
Yes.
Okay. Then a couple more questions on this. Second paragraph talks about I'm paraphrasing, Mr. Peterson would say, this isn't me, it's them, or I'm on your side. From whom did you hear that? Was that staff, students, board
Everyone.
members?
It was every situation where there was potentially a place for him to have fault. He was never at fault. And that was just the way it is. And I found that personally in my own experience when I went to have a meeting and I couldn't even have a meeting because he did not want to meet with me. And I mean, that right there just showed me that he was not capable of dealing with conflict. He was not capable of dealing with people directly. And I truly felt like that is something that a principal needs to be able to do. And that was a major driving force for me.
All right. You talk about a breakfast. We've heard about that in this hearing. So I only have one question about that. Were you at this breakfast?
Yes.
And tell the judge in your own words, what happened at the breakfast?
We made food and the staff was supposed to come. It was before school started and they were supposed to come and like have breakfast and the board was supposed to serve breakfast to the staff. And some of them did like protested the breakfast by not eating and or didn't even come or sat and just folded their arms and didn't participate. And it was just awkward.
Okay. Next, still in that same paragraph, it talks about you referencing an SEL curriculum decision where I'm paraphrasing. Peterson recommended one action in closed session and then basically said he didn't in open. My words, not yours. Were you present when that happened?
I don't recall.
Okay.
Okay.
This can you just read to yourself
Sure.
that part of the paragraph and tell us if that
Can you
is
make
your-
it a little bigger?
yes, yes,
I'm
one
sorry.
moment. No, it's okay. I'm with you.
Okay. Um,
And you have to read it aloud. Start with Ms. Falashi, also referenced to the,
yep.
also referred to. And my only question is, when you were telling Attorney Sachs this, was this from your own personal experience? That's my question.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Then we talk about the Facebook message. I think Attorney Haslam covered that. By the way, Attorney Haslam asked you a bunch of questions about text messages. He showed you some. If my memory of your deposition serves, did you have your phone set up so that it would automatically delete? Tell the judge about that.
Yeah, I have it set still to this day to automatically delete after 30 days to preserve space on my phone for other things, mostly pictures of my kids and dog. So,
Okay. So as of the fall of 2023, right, would you have literally on your phone had messages from, April or May?
yeah.
You
I
would
mean,
have had, let me try that again.
okay.
As of, let's say, August 15 of 2023, would there have been text messages with anyone from, say,
Oh,
April or May?
no.
Okay. All right. That's a small point. Let me just keep going. And then the last area, well, you say you had heard that Peterson staff were working with the teachers union to put a script together in response to any investigative interviews. Was that in response to that investigation that attorney was doing?
I don't recall.
Okay, it's okay. Now, back here you say and again, I'm just paraphrasing what you told this investigator. You said you agreed that Peterson's contract should be non-renewed because on top of all of the other issues, which I'll get back to in a minute, he had questionable items in his personnel folder and thinks the district can do better. First of all, did you say words to that effect to the investigator?
Yes.
What questionable items in his personnel folder were you referring to when you made that statement to the investigator?
The scavenger hunt. A lot of parents were upset about that, and that was one of the things. And um, I don't recall what else.
Now, this says because on top of all of the other issues, and Amanda, first of all, did you vote to non-renew Mr. Peterson's contract?
Yes.
And did you participate in the deliberations among the board that happened in closed session?
Yes.
Okay, so there was a hearing that night, right?
Yes.
And
yes.
we've heard this all, that's why I'm going fast. It was an
Okay.
open session, right?
Yes.
But then the board went to another room and deliberated, right?
Correct.
So I'm going to ask you a couple more questions about this topic. Number
Okay.
one, what were the issues beyond the COZAD issue and the investigation involving the scavenger hunt? Put that aside. What were the other issues that you had that led you to believe that the district can do better?
I did not feel like he could take accountability for anything. I did not feel like I felt like he was a people pleaser, and I don't think he meant it maliciously, but he absolutely agreed with whoever he was talking to about whatever it was that they were talking about to that person, even if on the other side he didn't necessarily agree with them to the other party to their face. And it just caused conflict within the school. And the fact that he didn't want to meet or have any direct communication with me over an issue that was happening with my kids that was affecting them was frustrating, because you're the principal of the school. To me, that's something you should be doing. And I mean, those things right there, the things that impacted my kids were really the things
I'm going to
that
object I'm going to object to the statement that she shouldn't be doing what the principal is doing. I feel like we're getting a little off the question here.
No, she's giving her reasons. This is what this hearing's all about.
But they're very broad, sweeping statements,
No,
not
but
precise.
you
It's
can
not doing the
cross-examine
things.
her.
What are the things? I mean, be more precise.
No, Amanda.
I'm going to cut in. I don't. We have limited time. The objection's overruled. I mean, you will have a chance to cross-examine.
Yeah, Okay, Amanda, you were interrupted. Sorry. I'm not sure if you remember where you were.
I don't, but I
Okay.
mean, basically, um, I felt like things should have been handled differently in the school. I remember hearing from other parents, I don't recall specifics, about other people having issues with their kids having bullying issues, and none of it really being handled the way that they had hoped either. So I knew I wasn't the only one. And really, I just wanted it to stop so that we could continue on and have everybody get along and be okay.
In your answer, you talked about, I don't know that you used the word divide, but you talked about, I don't remember what word you used, so I don't want to put words in your mouth. Did you notice from your observations that there appeared to be a divide amongst the staff?
Yes.
Can you just explain to the judge what you saw that led you to that conclusion?
I mean, I know that groups of teachers would be together and they would exclude other teachers. I was in the school helping one day, and a group of them would go into one room and eat lunch together and close the door and leave everybody else out of it instead of going into the lounge and eating lunch. It was it just, it felt, like you could probably just go get along with everybody and not create such a divide. But that is what I mean, I saw that happening in
Okay.
person.
During the hearing, there were various documents that were submitted, including the PIP documents and the updates on that. I'm trying to go fast. Did you review and consider that information as part of your thought process on whether to renew or non-renew Mr. Peterson?
Yes.
And what was your conclusion in that regard as to whether he did or didn't comply with his PIP?
That there was a common theme. He did not want to take responsibility for his actions. He didn't want to take responsibility for how what he was doing in the school was kind of creating a divide. And it may not have been intentional, and I understand that, but it was still what was happening. When you agree with somebody and then you turn around and you agree with the other person and they're opposing, that creates a divide because you think that this person's on your side, both of them, and neither of them are getting a straight answer, and that was happening often. He did not want to deal with conflict, and it just didn't seem like that was a good fit.
Okay. Now, deliberations. Remember, we talked about the board went in a separate room and talked before you guys came out and rendered your votes, right?
Yes.
All right. During those deliberations, did any board member reference or discuss Mr. Peterson's sex as a male?
No.
Did any board member reference or discuss Mr. Peterson's sexual orientation?
No.
Did any board member reference or even mention the fact that 3, 4 months earlier, Mr. Peterson, through a lawyer, claimed he was being discriminated against?
No.
Did any of those issues, sex, sexual orientation, or the fact that he had a lawyer complaining that he was being discriminated against, did any of those issues play any part whatsoever in your vote to non-renew his contract?
No.
Um, After that vote, there was this investigation. We know you, let me take this down one moment. Did you, as a board member, make any decisions regarding Mr. Peterson's employment other than your vote to issue preliminary notice of non-renewal to Mr. Peterson and then your vote after the hearing?
No.
So we had some testimony in this case about what happened after that investigation was done and some discipline that was issued. I just want to be clear. Were you, as a board member, involved in any way in that discipline?
No.
Okay. Let me take a look at my notes. I'm almost done. I think there was one more thing I wanted to cover with you, but I gotta look. You were asked questions about this anonymous letter,
Mm-hmm.
right? I just want to ask you a couple of questions about this. To this day, Ms. Falashi, do you know who authored that letter?
No,
Did you endorse, agree with any of the disparaging statements, if any, that were made by Mr. Peterson in that letter?
no.
Did you have any concerns yourself?
Objection, restatement. Mr. Peterson didn't make any statements in that letter. I'd just like you to clean that question up.
Sure, I'm happy to. I may have been going too quickly. I will acknowledge I may have misspoke. Let me start that over. To the extent there were statements in the anonymous letter or letters that were disparaging of Mr. Peterson, did you agree with any of those?
No.
There's a statement about him working with children. I could put it up, but I just want to ask you this. Did you ever have concerns about Mr. Peterson working with children?
No. My kids loved Mr. Peterson.
All right. Trying to think of a. Okay, Amanda, those are all the questions I have. I'm sure Attorney Haslam will have a few more, but we're almost done. Thank you.
Yeah, just a few things. Your attorney asked you about your time volunteering at the school prior to you being a board member. And I'm going to, without pulling up your deposition, I'm just going to posit to you that you told me that you had volunteered at the school approximately 2 days a week as a volunteer. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. And I believe you also told me that you would spend time with Mitzi Kozad during those 2 days a week when you were volunteering, correct?
I had to check into the office every time I came in.
Yeah. And you told me also that Mitzi Kozad asked you to I forget the term you use. I believe it's like act as a clairvoyant for her or something. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. And is that something you do on the side?
Your Honor,
Not
this is
anymore.
beyond, hold on, this is beyond the scope of my cross.
Well, you're talking about her volunteer time and time with Mitzi Kozad, so I'm just trying to dial in her relationship with her. I don't think I'm not gonna go on this for too much longer. It's just the last question about it.
Okay, well, one last question. I won't object.
So is that yes? Was that your answer to
What
the
was
last
the
question? Yes.
question?
I said, is being a clairvoyant or something that Mitzi Kozad asked you to do, is that something that you routinely do for people?
No, not now.
Not now. Did you used to
Mm-mm.
back when you were volunteering at the school?
Yes.
And you said you pulled your kids out of the school in fall of 2024, correct?
Yes.
That was about a year after Mr. Peterson was put on administrative leave, correct?
I don't recall the timing, honestly.
Okay. Um, you talked about board meetings where the public would come in and stand on chairs and yell, I believe. Is that correct?
Yes.
Do you recall ever calling the police during a board meeting?
No, but I recall the police being there.
Okay. Were they there on the day that these things were happening that you're talking about?
I don't recall.
Were these things happening routinely at board meetings that you're talking about?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to pull up an exhibit that's been previously entered in as C86. I'm just going to show you this to refresh your memory. Can you read this, or did I make it a little bigger? I'll make it a little
Can
bigger.
you make it? Okay, thank you. Yes.
Okay, so this is a sheriff's report dated August 21st, 2023. Is
Hmm.
this the period of time you're talking about when the school board meetings were that you're describing?
Yes.
And now if I go down here, I'm going to highlight this portion right here, and then I'm going to unhighlight it because it's hard to read when it's blue for me. I don't know about you. So do you see what I highlighted there?
Yes.
And so it says he received a report of disorderly subjects in a school board meeting. Did I read that correctly?
Yes.
He says upon arrival, there were about 80 audience members, all seated and somewhat calm, correct?
Okay. Yes.
There was no yelling, correct?
Wait,
Yes.
wait, wait.
I'm
Wait.
reading.
So
You're muted,
sorry.
Lori.
Sorry, I apologize. I want to make sure. Are you just asking her if you're reading it correctly?
That is correct. Thank you for
Okay.
clarifying that.
Yep, no problem.
So, okay. All right. And I'm going to stop sharing my screen now. You said that Mr. Peterson wouldn't meet with you. Do you remember that testimony?
Yes,
And during that exact period, you were also a board member, right?
I believe so.
Did Superintendent Garvey ever tell you not to meet individually with Mr. Peterson?
I don't recall.
Okay, I'm going to pull up something to refresh your memory here. Make it a little larger for you. Okay, and here this is an email from Michael Garvey, correct?
Sure.
And it's to you, Amanda, correct?
Yes.
And down here it says the advice given to the board is not to meet individually with Jeff. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Do you know if Jeff was also given that same advice by Dr. Garvey?
I don't know.
You were asked about a breakfast in which teachers either didn't want to participate or didn't want to eat. Is that correct?
Yes.
Did the teachers provide the board with a letter of things they wanted to discuss with the board prior
I
to that
don't
breakfast?
I don't recall.
Do you recall if the teachers were upset that the board refused to meet with them and hear their concerns?
I don't recall.
Do you recall the reason why the teachers said they were not eating or participating in the breakfast?
They were frustrated about Jeff, I think.
Are you sure about that?
No.
So you're saying the teachers were protesting the board's breakfast because they were frustrated with Jeff? Is that what you said?
They were frustrated with the way the board, they didn't want us to non-renew his contract.
But when was this breakfast?
I don't recall.
Didn't it happen before Jeff was even given a preliminary notice of non-renewal?
I don't recall.
Okay. It- did you eventually meet with the teachers that day?
I don't recall, honestly.
Okay. Did the teachers tell you? I'm just going to ask this question again. I'm going to say it really clearly, so maybe I misspoke last time. Did the teachers tell you the reason they were not having breakfast with the board is because they wanted to discuss certain items with the board?
I don't recall.
Your attorney asked you about your interview with Jonathan Sachs, and you told Jonathan Sachs that there were questionable items in Mr. Peterson's personnel file. Do you recall that testimony?
Yes.
And you referenced the scavenger hunt. Is that correct?
Yes.
And are these the same questionable things that you were discussing in your text with Joanne Konecki that I showed you earlier?
I don't recall.
Let me pull that up really quick. Okay. Can you see this on your screen now?
Yes.
And so I'm just going to read this aloud. Joanne says, was the investigation about the pics of kids at swimming pools in their bedrooms? If so, it's in there. If it involves something else more inappropriate, then no, it's not. Did I read that correctly?
Yes.
And you say, yes, that's what it was. Is that correct?
Yes. Yep.
So now does that refresh your memory that perhaps you were talking about Mr. Peterson's personnel file with Joanne Konecki?
Yes.
Okay. And the date of this is October 23rd, 2023. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. And that's before the school had put up open records request on the school's website. Isn't that correct?
I'm gonna
I don't
object. She's
recall.
already, that's asked and answered. She said she doesn't know.
Okay. 1 second. Thank you for your time today, Amanda.
Thank you.
And for the record, I don't have anything else. Thanks, Amanda.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
And you
Witness
can,
is excused.
yeah, you can
Okay.
leave if you want, Amanda.
Okay.
All
Thank
right,
you.
we made it. We made it. I know you had to go somewhere at 10:30, so
I did. Thank you. I
Yes, you bet.
appreciate it.
no problem.
Okay. So let's why don't we pause? Let's just go off record, I think, for a second. Okay. So at the very least, I want to take a short bathroom break, but what's the game plan here? That was the last witness, correct? That was scheduled?
Correct. And then we have anticipated rebuttal, I believe, which should be just rebuttal.
Yeah,
So
so I
we're
do
going to
want,
have issues with that. I predict.
well, maybe we could have a conversation right now about these items that I'd like to get in, because I think they're pretty innocuous, and I'd just like to discuss them with you right now.
So I think the first discussion we need to have is what is rebuttal evidence? Rebuttal evidence, and we're off the record.
Let's
Yeah.
pause. I don't know if we're going to get into
Yeah.
if there's going to be a substantive, if there's going to be a procedural or a substantive dispute of any sort, probably we should be on the record. And so why don't we do this? Let's take 5, give or take, minutes just to have a brief break, and we'll go back on record and we'll try to sort through how the rest of the hearing is going to proceed. All right.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Thanks.
Judge, FYI, oh, I thought Mike Leach was in the waiting room. One moment.
I just admitted him, but
Oh,
I think
there
he
you go.
has, I don't anticipate him saying anything, but I think I
Oh, he won't.
have to, I think he's, well, in theory, I'll allow his camera and his mic as I have been before since he's the designated rep, but
Sounds good.
okay,
Mike.
there we go.
I'm here.
Mike, you can put
Okay.
your camera off if you want.
It looks like, yeah, I don't care either way. I just thought if he, now we got a couple more. I
Yeah.
don't know who this phone number is. Anybody recognize that? That's not a witness, right?
There are no more witnesses.
Yep,
Okay.
we're good. You
Yeah,
can
that's
admit
right. I'm so in the habit of saying that.
it.
Uh, okay, I think we uh, uh, managing the room here. Using a mouse it's been a bit distracting, but I hopefully managed it okay. All right, so first of all, I got to start the recording again. It went off and I turned it off. Okay, so the recording's going. Okay, so let's go back on the record. And after a break, as I understand it, the scheduled, we've essentially concluded testimony other than perhaps rebuttal testimony by Mr. Peterson, which is what, as I understand it, Attorney Haslam would like to proceed with at this point. And before we went on break, there was some colloquy back and forth suggesting that maybe there isn't complete agreement on that. So let's just try to let's start this way, Attorney Haslam. Just can you give us an idea of what the purpose is of recalling Mr. Peterson, and at least maybe a summary of what he might testify to, not his actual testimony, but at least the subject matters covered?
Of course, Your Honor. So what we really want to do is we want to get into evidence, things about the FMLA that Ms. Lubinsky questioned Dr. Hayden on extensively. And during that testimony, if you recall, we referred to an exhibit called R69 that the respondents put on their exhibit list. That exhibit is all things in the ERD portal that were filed with the FMLA complaint. And it was a little bit cumbersome at that moment, so we moved on. But everything that's in there is going to be something I want to brief on, right? To refer you to in the brief. And so I'd like to get those in. If she doesn't want to stipulate it to it, what I'm going to do is I'll call Mr. Peterson up and have him identify that these are actually things he submitted to the ERD portal as part of his FMLA claim. We'll just go through it, and I think it'll be really helpful for the briefs for everybody to be able to look and see all those things that he submitted, including the paperwork, the timeline, which again, Ms. Lubinsky questioned Mr. Hayden extensively on. And the second thing I would like, and I think Mr.
Hold
Lubinsky
on,
would
I'm not sure. I'm sorry, but I'm not sure I understood all that. So R69 is that hearing exhibit R69?
No, it's Bates stamped R69 by Ms. Lubinsky.
Okay, so this is something that is not yet. This is a document that has not been admitted into evidence.
That's correct, Your Honor.
Okay, and so
Your Honor, I'm gonna interject, but only to help you. In my exhibit list that I filed in accordance with the scheduling order, my Bates stamp R69, and I don't have the exact quote, was not a document, but rather was a designation that I reserved the right to rely on any filing made with the ERD. And I'm paraphrasing. So that is what Attorney Haslam is noting, is he's intending, and I'll address the substantive issue, but Wes, please correct me if I'm wrong. What he would like to do with his witness is show the witness documents that I believe Mr. Peterson and or his lawyer submitted to the ERD investigator, because I designated R 69 or whatever the number was as anything in the ERD file. Wes, is that a fair summary?
The only thing that you have wrong there is
Oh.
that Mr. Peterson didn't give them the investigator so much as he uploaded them himself to the
Oh,
ERD.
that's fine. Yeah.
That's part of the
My bad.
process.
My bad. But that's what he's talking about, is things in the ERD file. Hopefully that now allows you to understand what Attorney Haslam is intending to do with regard to that issue.
So that's sort of a broad rubric that you designated it. I mean, okay, so any filing with the ERD, was that just that was not an actual exhibit then? It was
Correct.
just a reference, and you were
Correct.
saying that you wanted to be able to introduce, in essence, as part of your case in chief,
Correct.
as needed, any document that had previously been filed with the ERD?
That's 100% correct. I'll read it right here. It says, quote, my R69 was, quote, all documents in the ERD file of this matter, end quote.
Yeah, and just to be clear, it's only those things. There's only a very few of it. It's a few of these documents. I think I have them all checked off. I can tell you exactly the date and where they are, what page there are in the ERD portal. And we want to introduce them just because I think it's going to make briefing this case a lot easier when I can reference these dates and submissions. And there are certain things in there. Ms. Lubinsky went over the timeline of the FMLA with Mr. Hayden.
As
And
you should have in your direct, sir.
Well,
if I can be heard on this, Judge.
No. Give me a second to talk, Lori. What the entire, and that's why I'm calling Jeff as a rebuttal witness, because Mr. Hayden testified to a certain timeline, and Jeff testified to a different timeline. I tried to pull this up during Mr. Hayden's testimony, and there was a bit of a kerfuffle, and I said, okay, we'll let it go, but there's no reason I shouldn't be able to have Mr. Peterson come up here and say, yes, I submitted this to the ERD. This is my FMLA complaints.
Can I be heard on that now, Your Honor, or do you want me to wait until he addresses the other topics for his rebuttal?
Oh, yeah, I'd rather do them. It's complicated enough. I don't want to have to deal with everything en masse. So go ahead.
Okay. Yep. I'm going to share on my screen the Lurk's definition of what rebuttal is. All right. So we're all on the same page, because this evidence that Mr. Haslam, Attorney Haslam, is intending to introduce is absolutely not rebuttal evidence under no stretch.
Is this the one that sort of defines the scope as of rebuttal as outside that which is integral to the complainant's claims?
Yeah, and I'll be brief because you can all see it here. So just a minute. The idea that the evidence in the complainant's rebuttal cannot include evidence that's integral to the complainant's case in chief is consistent with Wisconsin law. And basically, if you read this, I'm just going to paraphrase to make this go easier. Just because a respondent's witness testifies to evidence about an issue in dispute does not permit the complainant to come back and give different evidence. That is what is being proffered here. Mr. Peterson has made an FMLA claim. He knows what the elements, he through his attorney, knows what the elements of that claim are. He is the one making that claim. If he had evidence about his version of the events, including documents that support his FMLA claim, it was his burden to come forward with that during his case in chief. It is completely inappropriate under both Wisconsin law and under Lurk's interpretations that this court must be guided with to allow a complainant to come in as under rebuttal evidence to submit evidence that's integral to their case. After all, the idea of rebuttal.
Well, there's a procedural, probably a procedural dimension to this too. If I think there's the idea that at some point the testimony has to come to an end, and if he is brought on to testify, does that mean that Attorney Lubinsky then is going to be able to call witnesses that will in turn rebut his testimony? And so I think that that is, I've seen that case. I guess what I'd like, what I'm curious about, I always like to see if there's a way to get a pragmatic resolution that's satisfactory to both counsel, because I certainly don't want to clip anybody's wings in presenting their case, but there are guidelines that I have to adhere to. Is the purpose, did I hear you correctly, Attorney Haslam, is the purpose of this to try to iron out, just to have a document that will solidify when certain events occurred and resolve ambiguity?
Precisely, Your Honor. It has more to do with what Mr. Hayden testified on in our case in chief. This is strictly evidence that Mr. Hayden testified about, and this is something that's used to rebut that. These provide a timeline of when Mr. Peterson actually completed his FMLA paperwork and things that go against exactly what Mr. Hayden said. This isn't something that we would be bringing up had Mr. Hayden not made those claims.
That's just not accurate. You have the burden to prove your FMLA claims. You have the burden to prove what you claim is the available leave, which is the only issue that remains with regard to FMLA. Just to be clear, there's no dispute. Mr. Peterson sought FMLA leave and it was granted. The issue, and the sole issue in this case, is how much paid leave he had to substitute for his otherwise unpaid FMLA leave. That's the issue. Wait, I'm not done. I'm not done. Thank you. And the fact that he submitted, I mean, I'm going to be frank with both of you. I don't believe Mr. Peterson's testimony and his evidence that he submitted in his case establishes what he thinks he's entitled to. This is extremely prejudicial to allow a plaintiff to come in when they didn't, in my judgment, and I understand Attorney Haslam will disagree, meet their burden of proof, to allow them to come in and say, now let me tell you show you all these documents, how I calculated the leave that I believe I had available. The reality is that's what the FMLA claim is about. He knew or should have known to present evidence in his case in chief about what his paid leave is. And that is precisely what is happening. And they are attempting to backdoor this evidence in when they didn't present it in the first place. I adamantly object. I do not stipulate to anything, and I'm asking for a ruling on this.
Again, I disagree, and I think I've made my case pretty clear, so I don't want to repeat myself, Your Honor, but I would be willing to throw out one compromise here just to make things easier, is that there could be one specific thing that I think is clearly rebuttal instead of all the things I wanted to include, which is simply the physician certificate for family or medical leave that was discussed with Mr. Hayden. And I think that's very important because what you did was you conflated dates with Mr. Hayden. I didn't anticipate that, to make it seem like Mr. Peterson put his FMLA claim in response to getting a misconduct letter. And
I
this
think
clearly
that's
establishes
precisely
that.
what he did.
Yeah, exactly. And this clearly establishes that that's not the case. So had you not said that, I wouldn't be trying to enter this in. This is pure rebuttal. Pure rebuttal. We just get this one thing in, then I'm happy.
I couldn't disagree more. I think this is integral to his FMLA claim. I think he was required to put this evidence in, and I'm asking for a ruling on this.
I disagree that it was integral to his FMLA claim, and it wouldn't have come up had the testimony not been misleading like that.
So you're saying this document has nothing to do with his claim as to how much paid leave?
I didn't say nothing to do. I said it was not integral, to use your words. Let me share the document with you so we can all see what I'm talking about. This is it. This is it. One page.
Can you tell me? So this isn't in your exhibits.
Hold on a second. Let me just enlarge my screen to physician or practitioner certification.
So I just want to understand. This is not, if I were to go to your, and I understand I did the all ERD. I get that, Wes. It says what it says. Am I going to find this in any of the exhibit binders I have printed or no? Because it's difficult for me to see it.
I don't think that it's in the exhibit binders specifically.
Okay, that's fine.
I think it's just something that catch-all that you provided. But I could give you where it's at in the portal if you like.
No, I'm not going to go into the ERD portal while we're in the middle of it. Okay, can you scroll down? Physician signature. Is it just this one page or do you go down more?
Just this one page. Let me double check and make sure. Yep, that's it. This is one page.
Okay, I need a minute to look at a document. Just one moment, please. I could just have a minute, Your Honor.
And also for the record, Ms. Lubinsky referenced this document in her testimony also, but didn't enter it in. So I think it's fair to enter it in.
Well, for the record, I didn't testify. So let's be clear. And I don't know what you're talking about, but I'm not saying I didn't mention a form. I just don't remember in one of my questions of witnesses. So just, I need a minute to look at a document we do have in evidence. One moment. Peterson's letter, R64.
It would be easy resolution if this was already in the record somewhere else.
That's what I'm trying. So I believe it is. So if we can all wait. I don't know if it's been admitted. One moment. We may be able to address this in an easier fashion. Just give me a moment.
Sounds great.
R64, did we admit that? Okay. Can I get both of your help? I have in my, I'm going to show it to you. Just one moment.
Okay.
I thought this was admitted and I just could be wrong and maybe I need to look at a different thing. So just one moment. Where's my exhibit tabs?
Yeah, I know it came up in yours and mine, but I don't think it got admitted. That's why.
Okay, I'm going to show you guys a document. Just one moment, please. And if you could both look at your lists, share.
That gets to be complicated because I have several different files with lists. The lists are so long that I would have to.
I hear you. Yeah, mine are too, and it's
I
my
mean,
handwriting.
I've got them, but it's just hard for me
Okay.
to pull them up real quick.
This is my, we'll call this Bates stamped R64 Peterson letter to Dr. Hayden dated March 13, FMLA. And it's the cover letter dated March 13 that Peterson sent to Hayden saying, this is advise you, basically, I'm exerting my right to take FMLA. I am providing you with my signed physician certification for medical leave form. And he goes on, and then page 2, Wes, please correct me if I'm wrong. Page 2 of this, and I'm not sure it's admitted yet, but this exhibit is that page that you were just showing us. Is that right?
That is correct. Absolutely.
Okay,
And
so
I don't
just
think
one
we got
moment.
that entered in, but if we did, that's great. We'll...
Okay, hold on. So that was my whole. All right, I'm going to take this off. I'm going to relook at my exhibits once to see.
Hearing exhibit. So was that a hearing exhibit or not?
I don't know. That's what
That's
I'm trying to figure out.
Okay.
I think if I did it, it would have been with Hayden. So let me just look at my notes.
Okay.
Show decision. So R.
So what was the what was the Bates number? Was it
R64.
Okay, so I think that was maybe our hearing exhibit R20.
Yep, I'm looking at you and I are on the same page. I'm looking at it, and maybe
My denotation, as I keep track of the exhibits coming in, is that it was exhibit R20, Bates R64, Peterson letter to Hayden.
Yep.
And now that's just a shorthand. That doesn't necessarily mean.
Yes.
And that was admitted.
That was admitted. It is hearing exhibit R20, which is Bates stamp R64. So Wes, the document you want is in evidence.
Great. And now, Lori, one more thing. Can you check your R25, which is the student handbook?
And so let's just on record, just so we're clear, that there's the letter, but council stipulate on the record that that would include everything that is included in that document as part of the record?
I'm sorry, I didn't catch the last thing you said, Your Honor. Could you say that?
Well, there's the letter, but then there's the certification and so on. I just want a stipulation that the council. I just want council to stipulate on the record that R20 indeed includes not just the cover letter from to Hayden, but also any other documents that appear under Bates R64.
I agree.
I agree.
Yep.
Okay.
And for the
so-
record only, it's 3-page, there's 3 enclosures to the cover letter. One is the form Attorney Haslam had
all the
put up.
better if there's less. That's great. And
Yep.
including what we want. So I think we've resolved this issue, correct?
Agreed.
I
Agreed.
don't think we need to put in rebuttal, which is good because it's kind of a sticky issue as to what comes in on rebuttal.
So
So-
I guess this one I don't think we're gonna have any problem with, Lori. This is the employee handbook that you put your R25. I believe you showed it, but you didn't admit it in, and I think it's gonna make briefing this a lot easier. Would you just stipulate to that?
No, I didn't show anyone the employee handbook.
It's your R25.
I understand it's my R25. I didn't show us, your statement is inaccurate. I didn't show a single
Oh, okay.
witness the handbook.
I thought you
Nope.
had shown it.
Nope.
Okay. Would you stipulate to having
Nope.
the handbook in? No.
Nope. That is not rebuttal evidence. And you clearly knew about it. It was on my exhibit list. That's clearly not rebuttal evidence.
Struggling to understand how that would come in as rebuttal evidence, especially something so general and generic as an employee handbook.
Yeah, it's fine. I thought it would help the briefing out a little bit. I mean, like,
well, I'm all in favor if if there are documents that this is just, I'm not speaking just with respect to this particular, with respect to the handbook, but just more generally speaking, we like stipulations that clarify the record, okay, as to dates, time, that location, if that's significant, so to the extent that there are non-controversial facts that could be clarified, that I'm all for getting evidence in the record that will provide for a clear record, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and I fail to see how this is controversial in the slightest, to be honest with you. I mean, it's just something
It's just not rebuttal. Wes,
well,
it's
I
not
believe
rebuttal.
it is because because again, Mr. Hayden's testimonies about FMLAs. So I mean, I think that it's important to clarify the things that you talked about him with.
Wes, you should have questioned the witness about FMLA when he was on the witness stand.
Yeah,
You knew he
well,
was here for
and
FMLA. I mean,
I
it's not
well,
rebuttal.
I did question him about it, but
You
I
just
think
didn't.
that
You
okay.
didn't question him about the handbook. If that's what you
So
thought.
I mean,
so I think I'm going to be disinclined, I think, to admit that.
okay. I mean, it's really not that big a deal. I just we can move on then. I do think. I mean, if you haven't made a decision yet, Your Honor, I do think it would be really helpful for you in the briefing, and for Lori. So I'll let you make a decision on it, but I'll be respectful of whatever decision that is.
So it was on the witness, excuse me, on the witness and exhibit list?
Yes.
Okay, was it on both parties?
I can only speak for mine. It was on my exhibit list.
Yeah, we actually have 2 student handbooks. I wanted to use Lori's just to make it easier for this process. I have one on mine, but they're different years. So like, and plus, sorry, I keep on saying student handbook. I meant to say employee handbook. But yeah, that's exactly what it is. It's just the employee handbook.
And my position for the record is this is not rebuttal whatsoever.
And let's keep in mind as we sort of ferret through the rest of this, I think the genesis for a lot of rebuttal testimony and the focus of a lot of disputes is on the administrative rule, right? 218.17.
Correct.
And I've got that I can just read from it. I have it here that it talks about that's where that's a rule that deals with the exchange of names of witnesses and copies of exhibits. And the idea behind it is to, I think it's very much time. I think there should be a little more time granted the parties, but that's the rulemaker's choice. But the idea is to provide notice to the other side, who you might call and what documents you might use. The rule, let me just read it in part, says the administrative law judge may exclude witnesses and exhibits not identified in a timely fashion pursuant to this section. Again, that has to do with unfair surprise, I think. But then the qualifier, and here's where the issues usually arise, is the section does not apply to witnesses and exhibits offered in rebuttal, which the party could not reasonably have anticipated using prior to the hearing. So I guess, in this case, it was on her list. If it seems to me while questioning the witness, if the witness gave testimony that you believe was at odds with something in the handbook, you could have moved at the time to introduce the handbook as an exhibit into the record and then ask propounded questions to the witness. Or alternatively, I guess, ask your own witness in your case in chief. But I if you want, if you want a ruling on this, I don't, I hear where you're coming from, Attorney Haslam, but I don't think that this really meets the definition of rebuttal evidence. So I think I'm going to sustain that objection.
Understood.
Yeah.
Understood. All right.
And that's reluctantly to some degree, because I want a clear record. I mean, that's the whole point of this process is to try to develop a clear record so that the fact disputes can be identified, and I can do my best to try to make findings of fact. I mean, that's the purpose of the hearing, really.
Yeah.
So, I'm inclined to err on the side of inclusion, but I just don't think this meets the definition in this case. So, what is there more that we have to walk through?
No, I think that's it. And
Okay.
if that's all we have to be, 1 second, Your Honor.
Sure.
Oh, if that's the case on both of those, I have no rebuttal testimony to offer, and we're going to close our case in chief.
Okay.
And we have no rebuttal because there's no rebuttal. I would just simply note, it's been a super cooperative hearing. I don't think any of us have, ultimately, we have 110 hearing exhibits and there were no objections to any of those. So this is like a first for me.
That's probably due to the extraordinarily charming demeanor of the judge. So, that'll hopefully, if there's press people observing, hopefully that will make it into the. So I think I'm hearing that we've concluded, both sides have concluded they're putting in their proof, and
Yes.
we can. Okay, so I'm gonna adjourn and momentarily, but we need to talk about some things off record, and so I'm going to pause here, and I'm going to just have folks that are counsel and the complainant and the respondent's rep present. I'm going to exclude others, I think, before we have that discussion. So let me just, I'm going to stop the recording here, and then I'm going to, we'll proceed in a moment. Counsel, just stay put. So, all right. Okay, so the recording stopped. Well, somebody just popped up as waiting in the lobby. They never got in.
Too late.
Okay, so just go down the line here. I guess what's going on here? Here. Okay, so just.